into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey, Rebecca is so locked up, isn't she?
No, I wouldn't change this love. You got me in chains.
Trene's doing it. Look at her.
What is up, you guys? AFTERBUZZ TV, the after show network, as we are getting into our favorite show, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. And before we get into this wonderful episode, would like you guys to hit us up on Twitter at AFTERBUZZ. Make sure to like us on Facebook and check us out on iTunes and like us, because we want to hear from you and we want to hear your comments as well. So before we get into it, it's your girl Trene. You can look me up. You can tweet me at your girl Trene. And I'm here with the dopest host in the world.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Nino. You can catch me at Nino Llanera on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
And we have a special guest, Xander, but his real name is Thor Knai, and he plays the hipster in the show. Welcome.
Guy. What's up, man?
Thank you.
Guac guy, got the guacamole going on.
That's right, yeah.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here. This looks like it might be fun.
Yes, it is going down because Rebecca is in chains. She's
Clearly,
all wrapped up and she's going cuckoo crazy. We've got her at the skate park with Paula, and she's learning a few tips because she wants to keep up with Josh. She's crazy. She knows that he's going to be at the skate park with his brother on Saturdays, but he isn't there.
Exactly. She thought, obviously, from his past Instagram, Facebook post, but he's not there because he's chilling at the winery with Valencia.
She got that buzz, that Instagram buzz. Just went off, the notifications.
Can you get notifications for Instagram? Dang, okay.
If you're crazy like Rebecca, you can. What do you think, Thor?
I didn't know you could receive notifications from other people posting their Instagram.
Right.
I thought I didn't know that was a thing, but I guess if you use like If or one of those apps,
That's
might
like
work.
definitely a stalker move, isn't
It's
it?
totally
Very much so.
illicit software.
Very much so. It looked like she was, very, very hurt by the romantic getaway. It was soft porn, as Greg would say. It looked like it was porn photos that they were taking. They were all greased up with their abs all out. And the annoyance is Rebecca, you can tell she's not feeling it. And then top it off, she gets a FaceTime call. Well, first a call from her mom. And her mom, we get to finally see what she looks like. She's like, switch over to that video call that you always like to do, FaceTime. And we noticed that her mom is awkward and crazy and, is judging her for leaving the job. And she's like, oh, the girl that's in the neighborhood. Audra Levine.
I looked her up and she's not a real person. I just wanted to make sure.
Right.
She's not a real person.
Right. They said she just got married and she just got the biggest promotion, the promotion that Rebecca actually left for. So,
womp, womp, womp.
That's what that was. I was like, I don't know what this is. I don't know.
Yeah, I had to look that up. I was like, Audra Levine, just in case I can't reference this, let me double check in Google. She's not a real person, but I guess she's like a socialite in New York now, right?
Yes. And her mom's at the pap smear with the known doctor who actually delivered Rebecca. And, she was avoiding her mom. Was there any other... How did you feel about that when she was avoiding her mom?
I would avoid my mom during a pap smear, too. I don't know about you guys.
That is true. And also that conversation that you always have to have with your parents.
Right.
Yeah, when you make the decisions that they don't like.
Yeah. A little crazy. I don't know the doctor who birthed me. So this is kind of crazy. Like, I don't even remember my pediatrician at this point. But wow.
Yeah, no, her mom is a total psycho, and it just puts Rebecca in a more depressing mode because she decides to leave the skate park, and Paula's like, come on, let's go to Dress Barn.
Poor Paula really wants to just hang out, man.
And she's like, no, I don't want to go to Dress Barn. She goes home, runs into her neighbor, Heather, who's actually doing a psychological research project on her.
That's so funny.
Let's talk a little bit about that. Thor, what were your thoughts when you found out that Rebecca's being a psychological subject?
I thought that was funny. I thought that's probably a lot of stuff she could dig into there if she wanted to. So that's a great idea, but it's also like, your neighbor, your friend, and all that. You don't want to do it, but
No, it's great. I was a psych major in college, and so I understand everything. I took abnormal psych, I took all that stuff, and she has case by case symptoms, obviously. And Heather's really, really trying to dig in there because she did sure take those pictures and those photos from that banger that they had last week.
From the party, she was
Yeah.
wrapped around a
giant
dolphin.
fish.
Yes.
That fish was on set, and I was like, what is that fish?
I want to ask you,
And
so
then, like-
some of the props that they bring
Right.
onto set, what do you think was like the craziest
The
set?
fish was like the crazy. It was like, because her living room, there's nothing in there because she just moved there.
Right.
But there's a giant fish thing that's just sitting up against the wall. And they're like, oh, yeah. No, you'll find out when you watch the show. I'm like, okay.
That's pretty funny.
And that's it. Yeah.
The big pretzels that they have in the beginning, they have some pretty crazy stuff that's on the show.
Yeah, and then we get sight to see
They
that.
do.
Yeah.
So crazy because the neighbors like, what's going on? You have your snacks. You're bringing in your pork rinds.
Eating her feelings.
Eating your feelings away. I got a better idea. What did you think when she said a better idea?
I was like, I know what she's going to say because we talked about this a couple episodes ago, and she brought it out. Tinder.
Tinder. So she decides, what better way? You should just, bang your feelings out, right?
Pound it out.
Pound it out. So they decide to go on Tinder to look for her next guy, for her next prey.
Yeah, basically. And they sure did find that really quick. After looking at the dead guy, after looking at the old guy,
The guy with the tiger.
tiger, they found Mr. Right, who was 20 minutes away at the bar.
20 minutes away at the bar. And Tinder, she thought that it was for matchmaking, but it's actually for hooking up. So once she arrives to the bar, she sees her guy, who we find out's name is Jason. And he's
Jason.
clutching on some tennis balls. He's looking really, really nervous, and he finds out that she's ready to go. She's so ready. She's down for the cause, and they go right into her new place, and she pushes him on the bed, and that's when they go into the Sexy Stranger song.
The first song. And did you see what she was wearing, Trene?
She had on the leopard leotard. She had it going on. Rebecca had it going on.
What did you think when you saw that?
That was hilarious. Yeah, no, that was great. I read the song in the script. Like I hadn't heard it out loud, but it was pretty funny. Like please don't kill me or don't be a murderer or whatever.
Exactly.
Which is so true because when you meet people off Tinder, you never know what you're gonna get. I've heard horrendous stories about Tinder meetups. Have you ever heard any crazy
question. I wanted you
stories
to ask
about
him, have you ever
Tinder,
used
or
Tinder?
have you ever used Tinder?
I used Tinder for like a week and then decided this wasn't for me.
Good choice, man.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It wasn't. Yeah, I didn't like it that much.
What
No, I
did you
didn't have
not
any
like
crazy
about
story.
it?
It was weird because I normally would think that because I appreciate that directness that comes with Tinder, especially that they point out in the episode, which is like, oh, you're at the bar, let's just make out, and hey, you want to go to my place. It's like I like that we don't have to deal with all that BS that comes in between, but for some reason Tinder just didn't vibe with me. I don't know. I guess the girls I matched with were just like terrible in real life or something. I don't know. It was as bad as sample size maybe because it wasn't. I didn't go on that many, but yeah, it was.
Tinder, no.
I've never used it.
No, Tinder, I would say no. And she said it.
You should totally try it.
Yeah.
I don't think
let
so.
us know
Because we find out that you never know what you're going to get into. Dirty balls, hairy chest. She licks his face and his face doesn't smell good. And she comes up with, I've got to go fix the dishes and wash the dishes. And she dismisses herself to try to get away from stranger danger. And all of a sudden, our favorite butter commercial comes on.
I love these butter commercials, man.
Yeah, they're funny.
The copyright here just speaks to me.
Yes. Are you making healthy choices?
Right.
Because if you're not making healthy choices, here's why. And ding, ding, it pops off to Rebecca. She's like, I don't think this is a great idea.
No, because we can get STDs. There's that window she was talking about. Yeah, no, this wasn't really a healthy choice, was it?
Definitely not. He comes down, Jason, the stranger danger man.
Which, by the way, is probably a nice guy. Like, he hasn't done anything wrong
he
or
hasn't.
been weird or anything. If anyone's the crazy person in that hookup, it's her. So he's the one who's like, okay, I should probably leave.
So he was saved, is what happened.
Yeah,
is what we're trying to
basically,
say.
she saved him.
He was saved, but he thought that she had something else up her sleeve because he's like, oh, you want to do it by the TV? That's really kinky.
This makes me last longer.
Oh, yeah. Having a TV on makes me last longer. That was funny.
And then finally she's like, no, you're out of my house. Get out. And I need to make a healthy choice, and you're not the healthy choice. How rude.
The Rachel voice came out.
And you're not the healthy choice at all.
Yeah, that was
And then we find out that she goes to work the next day and she's like, I've got to take this healthy choice seriously. Let me start juicing it up, which is so LA because
healthy choice.
You're the healthy choice. He's the healthy choice.
Well,
And
we saw that at the end.
More organic, cruelty-free choice.
There we go.
That's
no
Hear that, ladies?
No GMOs in Thor.
No GMOs. No GMOs.
No GMOs.
no GMOs at all. And yeah, she's taking this healthy choice seriously, which is, we never seen her do such thing because when the donuts come out, she's like, oh, s'more donuts.
Right in her face. These pink donuts, where did they get them from? Because, yeah, we're going to need to bring some to the studio just to investigate.
Yes, because I've never ever had s'more donuts. Have you, Thor?
I haven't, and now we should have had them here now just for the sake of it.
Or
I know.
Taco Tuesday or guacamole. There's a lot of food.
Oh, we should have had you come in and make guacamole for the ladies.
Should have brought some broccoli. I'm sorry, my bad.
We can leave the
Dropped the
cauliflower
ball,
tacos at home, though.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, me neither.
So she is just on a roll. She decides to take her happy-go-lucky self to the bar, which before she arrives at the bar, we see Greg talking to the 5th grader who is actually checking out her rack in the last episode. And he's like, come on, Greg, you need to be a little bit better. I asked Olivia out. Now it's your time to ask Rebecca out.
Right.
And Greg's like, I like her. She's crazy, but I don't know if I should like her. And yeah, what did you think when he's talking to a 5th grader? Would you ever get advice from a 5th grader about dating?
He just described 5th grade. Like,
Yeah, that's what he said.
Like
He
Chris
said
said, I like you, but I don't. But like, you're dangerous, but I like you. You know, it's like one of those like you know when you're like in 5th grade, you're like somebody, you're like, yeah, and you just
Yeah.
like just mess with them the whole time.
Yeah, you're
I feel like
teasing them as
you're
opposed
teasing
to
them.
being
Exactly. I feel like Rebecca's obviously teasing him, but you know, I don't think she likes him. But all the little funny jokes that he says is totally elementary.
Very elementary.
Poor dude. This dude's self-confidence needs a little boost.
A little bit of a boost. And all of a sudden we have Josh come in and he's not as happy. He's bummed out because when he was in Temecula, he actually maxed out his credit card.
Yeah.
And he's like, I need to find a job.
Like ASAP.
ASAP. And so he's like, if I don't find a job, I'm going to have to go to the radiology plant to work with my dad.
Yep.
And that's when we find out that Josh actually loves TV because he goes to Aloha Tech.
He loves tech stuff. He
That's
just
like
likes
his
that-
juice.
yeah.
His juice for the day. Is there any other, like when you're down, Thor, like do you have to go to certain places?
I play a lot of video games when I'm down and that sort of stuff. So
No,
that's fun,
no
yeah.
carpal tunnel, no balls.
No, see, I don't use the control. Well, I guess I could because I'm a PC guy.
Ah,
so,
okay.
Like, so I guess I could have those issues if I wanted to. But
No pun intended.
yeah.
And so, yeah, we just find out that Josh is just so stressed out and he's bummed and he's ready to just get a new job. And Rebecca
job,
walks
yeah.
in. She has her green juice. She's happy. And 5th grader's like, here's your time, Greg.
Right? He's like, get it, Serrano, do it now.
Get it. He calls him by the last. That's how you know it's going down when someone names you by your last
Right?
name. Like, you need to go do that. And he gets up the courage and he's like, let me go over there and talk to her and let me serenade her with a piece of the work called Settle for Me.
I loved it.
That was a great song.
I honestly didn't like it.
What?
I didn't.
They had such a good time shooting that. They were
I
talking
love
about
that
the whole
scene.
time. Yeah.
One of our producers, Rihanna, loves that scene as well too. I thought that was a cool scene because it was like, I think it was very Fred Astaire.
Yeah, that's exactly who they were referencing. When they
Yeah, black and white in the ballroom and dancing and whatnot. I thought it was really, really cool. But I know you have this thing where you don't like Greg's character.
I honestly
So
You don't
That's
like
why.
Greg?
No, I honestly wanted to see her with you. When I saw her meet you, I'm like, oh, like this could be like great for Rebecca.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it could be.
And he's giving us a
I don't know
hint.
anything about it.
He's
but
giving
maybe-
us a hint. He's giving us a hint. So
Okay, well, no.
you can definitely help us out when we do predictions later. So he breaks into the song and he's like, settle for me. Like, I know you like Josh, but I can be that man for you. And it's kind of cute. Even though I didn't really like it, it's kind of cute to see Rebecca being swept off her feet and the one being pursued instead of her being the one that's pursuing.
It's funny because it's like he's Rebecca now, and she's Josh. Remember this love triangle that I've been predicting for the past couple of weeks? It's slowly coming together.
So we just need Josh to now be into him, Greg.
Oh, okay, there you
And
go.
his triangle.
I think I missed that part of the triangle. But yeah, I was thinking more like this.
More like that.
But
yeah.
hey, you never know.
You
CW.
never know.
Never know. I see though. Yeah.
Diversity
And
in
that
casting
could
has
be
been
that
playing,
could
hey, you
actually
never
be
know.
like another little spoiler we don't know about maybe.
Right? All these
I'm
inside
sorry.
facts Thor's giving out.
And so he's like, so what will it be? Are we gonna go on a date? And she's like, I don't know. She goes to work. She has this new treadmill.
Treadmill desk,
She's
y'all.
sick.
How
That's
cool is
hilarious.
that? She has a new treadmill desk. She's trying to get it nice and tight, nice and right. And she tells Paula, like, okay, I can go on a date with Greg. And Paula's like, no, that's breaking the guy code.
Yep.
Do you think that that's breaking the guy code,
It
Thor?
depends on the guys, but
Yeah.
in general, you got to clear that a little. But I think because Josh isn't into her, she's not breaking it. She's just setting it up so that if it ever were returned the way she wants it to be, now Josh has to clear it with Greg, and that bro code violation happens. But for now, she's in the clear. She's just muddying the waters for later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly what Paula said. You see how wise this lady is.
She's definitely doing a lot. She's making sure that she's making the right decisions when it comes to Greg because he's like, this could be the best thing for you. And as soon as she can think of anything else, Josh walks in.
Because he needs help.
Yes, he always wants to use her for something.
But like in a good way,
In a-
because he like thinks that she's so good at stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
No. And he's like before he came into her job, he went into Aloha Tech and he got his poke and he got to have his TV and his video games and he sees an assistant manager wanted sign. So he's like, I think I can get some help from Rebecca.
Right? Poke. Okay. I always used to say just pokey. You know what I mean? I'm not from Hawaii, but like I thought it was just pokey. It's poke. So all my Hawaiian friends tweet me, let me know if that's for real. Poke. And you can get poke at a tech store? Dang.
That is pretty dope. And because
Fry's doesn't do that.
I know, and it's almost equivalent to Fry's, right? Aloha
yeah.
Tech. You,
Oh, yeah.
you think
That
it
would be, I think, the equivalent.
That
yeah.
is the equivalent, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it's the cool job. It's the cool factor. And we then find out that Josh is like, I can help you out with your love life if you help me out with the application. And she's like, what love life?
Here comes the mud.
Right. Like, and I think it was pretty hurtful because she thought that her relationship with Josh was, I think in her mind, she's thinking that it's bigger than what he's thinking it is.
right.
Because he's so quick to pass her off to his friend.
Right, she's in the friend zone.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
So much friend zoned.
For now. Yeah,
So
for
much
now.
friend zoned. And yeah, she just then is like, I guess I'm just going to go on the date. And Greg actually takes her to the West Covina Taco Truck Festival.
Well, wait, can we talk about how quick she wrote that essay, though?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's the 164 IQ, but still.
it was super quick.
Super quick, but okay. Let's go to
We
Taco
all need
Festival.
those. We all need a Rebecca in our lives, don't you think, Thor?
Yeah. No, I would love to have some friends with 164 IQ and some Harvard degrees. I have some with Harvard degrees. Those are fun. They're fun. Like, they're wittier for some reason. They're so quick with everything.
Have they ever gotten you out of a bind like Rebecca gets her friends out of a
No,
bind?
but a lot of them are lawyers. So if I were to need to get out of a bind,
There you
those
go.
are the guys. Yeah.
There you go. Legal action. There we go.
That's the way to go. So she goes to the Taco Truck Festival, which today is Tuesday, so it's Taco Tuesday. So it's perfect. And they go, and she's so excited to keep up her vegan card because she decides to go for some healthy tacos.
I'm not with that.
No, the cauliflower tacos. Oh, by the way, that day it was totally raining.
So that's why they put in the rain situation.
Yeah, they had no, like, it was the one day that it rained here in like months, and it was pouring down when we got there in the morning, and they just had to do all those like rain edits and the rain gear and the umbrellas and all that stuff.
You got to give it up to the
On the
writers
fly.
though, right there,
No.
to just
Yeah.
write that in, because I'm pretty sure that was a write-in for the script because
Rachel is a writer. She's like, she can make all the decisions
I
herself
love it.
on
Rachel,
set.
executive
She's
producer,
like-
just getting
Instant.
just
getting her life. I love it.
And
Yeah.
she does have 164 IQ, I think. I
Oh,
don't know.
wow.
I don't know what the number is, but she's definitely that smart. Like, she's
She
that
seems
level
like
of
that
person.
type. Yeah.
Wow. Well, fans out there, if you need help with your homework, your applications, she's your girl.
Rachel does stuff on Instagram. Follow her. She's pretty funny.
and also, I also
true,
liked how
that's
she
true.
played in how Jason, the Tinder guy, was a YouTube. He's like, you can check me out on YouTube.
Yeah. Right.
And she, she was actually on YouTube. She started off on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I think that was pretty cool how they played that in as well.
I love these little small nuances that they have
They always
throughout the whole show.
They always tend to always keep us so LA because taco trucks are definitely the biggest thing to do in LA. You could always go and get a $1 taco from a taco truck. And this date was pretty fun because they had the live band going on. They had
Yep, the mariachi
beer,
band.
the beer. It was, and they were definitely warming up to one another because Rebecca, she was started off a little bit awkward. I was just like, come on, let's talk about your life. And she eased in. It takes her a while to open up. And she started opening up about her dad, which was really, really good for her fans and for the audience to see, don't you think?
Oh, no, I think so, too. Yeah, I thought the connection starting off with that whole trivia thing on Google, and they made that connection about the fire, and then she goes more deeper into her relationship with her dad, and the poor cards that she made with the glitter that he never returned back, like a thank you or anything. I'm like, this girl's getting more emotionally, like, in-depth as the episodes go, and I feel more and more bad for her.
Right, yeah, you start seeing where the little bit of crazy is coming from.
Right,
You're
exactly.
like, and you get to know the characters a lot better. in this
Exactly.
episode.
That and her mom, like, duh, I think that would make
Yeah.
me crazy, too.
Yeah, she just needs a little love, and Greg is definitely trying to show her love. He's trying to show her a good time, and he's like,
He's willing.
why don't we step off and head to your place? And she smells guacamole, and she's
Yes.
like, let's go to the guacamole contest. And that's when we
sorry.
meet Xander,
Yeah.
who is the hipster guacamole
From
king
Echo Park?
from Echo
Echo
Park.
Park.
Echo Park represent. Look at that.
That's right.
How is that channeling a hipster?
It's funny because I am not. And when they were looking for the part, it was casting somewhere very close to Silver Lake, and I was like, all you need to do is open your door,
And you can just
for like
pull
10
someone on the
minutes,
street.
and like 40 hipsters are gonna walk by, and you just ask them to do the part. But nope. So I was like, I'll go in there. I'm not gonna get it. Whatever. So I did my thing, and then worked out. I guess there was a man bun was a thing of it, but like again, I
I'm
thought
hiding
it was-
Nino
mine right
has
now.
one.
Yeah.
It's totally
I'm hiding
in.
mine right now.
It's like the new thing.
So
and
that was fun. So I went and I ate a lot of guac that week to prepare.
There we go.
okay.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
did you practice
Totally.
making guacamole as well?
I was gonna. I promised that was the thought process that I had. I was like, I should really learn how to do that and properly, but I didn't.
Was there a lot of improv going on at the time with you and Rebecca on set?
They do a lot of it. I'm not as cool as they are. There was some of it, like I think the line where we'll get to it later. I'll tell you when it is, but there was some lines I could add. And
small
change
little
a few
ad-libs here and
things.
there.
Yeah, like they call them buttons at the end of
Right.
the scene, which is the way it's written. So, but I mostly try to stick to the script because I have trouble enough just doing that.
They have like great one-liners. Like I think in the song,
They do.
When what's the "Settle for Me" song? Didn't he say he's like, if he's your broken condom, I want to be your plan B.
I'm your plan B.
And I'm like, these lyrics, like Rachel Bloom.
She writes these like in between shots on set. She was like, let me think about the next song. We gotta get a song like that. She starts writing on like a napkin
It's crazy.
a bunch of lyric in between takes on set. And I was like, wow, that's so impressive.
Multitasker, just like her character is a multitasker.
Yes.
That's what everyone will say.
Yes.
She is that way. She's got all the stuff going on in her head at all times. She's multitasking like 40 different things and does it well.
She does.
She really does. And even this is like throughout the whole episode, this was the first time I saw her light up when she met Xander. She was like so happy. You could tell that she was flirting a little bit.
Right.
You guys had like a veganism flirt going on.
Right, yeah. Yep.
And she got this
so much.
right,
Yeah.
like but
But you're
So
right.
much
she
in
did.
common.
Yeah. But she did have a glow to her though.
She
like,
did
it
have
kinda
a
made her
glow.
think like, oh wow, I'm kind of happy with this right
right, and it was like
Yeah.
guacamole at first sight. It was like
that
love
animal
at first
magnetism
sight.
thing,
yeah,
yeah.
vegans link up. It was it was pretty cute. And I wanted to ask you, you're actually from Norway, so can you tell us a little bit about your career when it comes to modeling and acting?
Okay, apparently you did some research.
Cabaret.
I know you've done a little cabaret in your past as
So,
well.
the modeling was really just a thing to get a work permit in the States, because you have to be especially talented or like an artist in your area or whatever. And the modeling was just a way for me to do that fast. So that's why I did that. The cabaret thing is funny because in Norway, just in my area of Norway, all the high schools every year put up a cabaret. That's like like a regional sort of well-meaning competition, like who can do the funniest and get the best reviews and like make the most money for their school with their cabarets. So yeah, I was in those as much as I could be in high school. So
They need that for like California. Bring back
They
the
do.
arts.
They do.
Make some money
A lot
for
of
your
fun.
school.
Yeah,
And let's get it together, California.
And you actually started your career at 15, or was it earlier than that? Your mom
oh yeah.
pushed you into getting into a miniseries.
You went in on this IMDb.
So
Yeah, you dug
that's
into that.
really
Like,
awesome. Your mom seems like she's supportive in your career. That's
I think
awesome.
it was like my mom has always been super supportive and she's great, so I love her for that. But that thing, it was just it was like a little, we don't really have a Backstage West or any of those like casting channels, especially not, 15 years ago, I'm dating myself here, but like back then when I was 15. So it was just a thing in the paper, like, oh, we need some people for this show that we're doing. And I went in and told some story about like witches and sorcerers in my family history that are true.
oh wow.
And they loved that because it was kind of like a supernaturally inspired show. I didn't even know that at the time. I was just like, I don't know anything to talk about. I'm just going to talk about this.
You were being yourself. Look what happened.
Right.
Yeah, so then that worked out.
Yeah, no, you're like your character. I hope they bring you back because
I hope so too.
you're gonna definitely bring out a lot in Rebecca because she was starting to have a little bit of regrets after she met Xander.
She did.
You mean like it regrets because she went too far,
Or
regrets 'cause
no,
she's like,
after
oh, wait, maybe-
she first encountered with Xander and she started to talk to Greg.
had
Greg
regrets.
starts
Did you hear this, Rachel?
right. Greg starts.
They want you to write me into the show.
Yeah,
This could be more of a storyline.
right. It could be more of a
Yeah.
So
storyline.
much gold here, Rachel.
You see this?
Yeah.
Yes, Greg. He's over there making fun of her,
Yeah.
and I think he was a little bit buzzed because he just starts going in on her. He's just like, "You're very hypocritical, and you're this and you're
I think
that."
that's just where his awkwardness lays. He just
He
doesn't know
seems
how
like
to...
just an honest guy.
He
And it was
does,
like,
exactly.
It just bothers him that she won't be honest with herself.
Right.
And like, it's not that he wasn't being particularly mean about it. It was just like all that stuff at the same time. I was like, oh, okay.
Right,
That
back
was
to
like-
back to his
Yeah.
awkwardness self. I think
Yeah.
that's what makes them kind of work together sometimes because they both
they
have
such great chemistry.
right.
yeah.
They both have this awkwardness to them and social anxiety that makes them work. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
They're great.
But yeah, Trene's still like, I do not like them together.
I don't like that at all. He was just making her feel so sad, and she dismissed herself and went to the sexy porta potty, and that's when she's in the bathroom and she starts singing her own version of Settle For Me.
Right, that whole reprise right there.
Settle
Yes.
for him, yeah.
Yes,
Live,
Settle For Him.
by the way.
Live. So tell it. You told me it was live earlier.
Yeah, I was on Twitter, I think, and I was on, since Vince got here, I've been following on Twitter, and I follow Rachel on Twitter, and they had mentioned that they took the soundbite live there. So instead of being at a studio, recording that piece or whatnot, and her dubbing it and voicing it while they were filming in the porta potty, which I'm pretty sure sucked. Hopefully it's clean. She sang it live, and she sounded amazing live. I was just like, when I was watching, I was like, this has to be live. And then when the Twitter, came from the source, there we go.
It was beautifully sang, and she decided, I don't know if I should settle for Greg, because she finally gets out the porta potty. She's starting to have this impulse. You start to notice that Rebecca really acts off impulse, because she has like this. I personally thought it was a sexual urge, because all of a sudden she's looking at Greg. She's checking him out, and then the camera glances over to Pork.
Yes, and she wants that pork.
She wants that pork, and she wants two pork. She wants two pork,
Yes.
and she got the sample. She got the sample of the guacamole, and now she dives right deep into the pork, and her dreamy guy Xander shows up.
Yes, making her feel some type of way. Xander.
Yeah.
Ooh, it got hot and heavy.
Yeah. No, that was quick. That was a quick turn. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that myself.
She got hot and heavy. She was like, "Well, Greg, I'm not
sex.
feeling well.
I'm sick. Oh my god.
I'm sick. That's the worst thing ever. You getting ditched on your date.
That's never ever happened to me, and I hope that never ever happens to me, because I don't know how I would feel. I would feel so like, oh my god, my emotions would just be drained, and I would feel this much less of a person, not even just a man, just a person in general.
Yep.
Because he just left me like that.
And he basically had it in the bag, because they were like this close to leaving before they went and did the guac thing, and then she was like, she kind of just wanted to play it out, and then that happened.
Right, in the conversation, did Xander have any techniques to making sure that he can slide off with Rachel, or Rebecca?
I'm not even sure Xander knew that she was there on a date, because that never really came up, and
That's
I
very
think
true.
I was just very attracted to her instantly. We had that chemistry spark thing, and then we just went there with that, and it was kind of this forbidden secret kind of fun.
Yeah, he's like, I'll keep the secret.
Yeah, we'll keep each other's secrets kind of thing. I'll go to Burger King, you do your pork thing, and then let's go to your place.
Right, and she
you can
ends
have it
up
your way.
having your way, baby, and your sample, and then she actually, we see her in bed with Xander, and Xander's like, oh, well, I can take off the 2 condoms you had me put on.
Where do you want me to put these?
Where do you want me to
what do you
put
want me to do
these?
with the 2 condoms you made me
So
wear?
was that improv, or was that something she wrote?
That was a line. That was a line. The only part of that was improv was at the very end. We didn't know quite how to end it, so we played around with different versions of like, you're welcome kind of thing.
The whole
The
finishing,
fist bump with a you're welcome.
So you finished, right?
That was there. Like the condom part was there, the finish part was there, but then like it was unclear sort of what the button would be. That's
And
funny.
how to yeah.
Yeah, so we played around with like you're welcome or other things of that nature.
I was like, oh god, this just really happened, and the awkwardness was this was okay awkwardness for me, but it was just funny awkwardness.
My character Xander doesn't get the awkwardness that much. I'm having a good time.
No.
I thought we had sexual chemistry.
Right.
I'm not picking up on the lies. I'm like, I totally think she finished a bunch.
Yeah, she's like, yeah,
That was
like,
legit.
Yeah, this was great. This was really, really great.
I know,
and
you're
then,
totally welcome, dude.
like I don't understand Rebecca, because she has Josh, she has Greg, and then she has Xander. Xander's up here, and Greg and Josh are down here.
Oh, come on.
and she's just not saying that because they're here.
I really am just like, Rebecca, like, come on now. Like, you're in this new city. You're getting ready to just, start a new lifestyle, a healthy one. And you have this new guy. And you're acting like a total psycho. And it's making it so awkward.
That's true. And I would have been the gateway into that healthy lifestyle because I'm a vegan, I'm a chef, and all that stuff. Like, it would have been so easy to just go along with that kind of.
It could have, but I think it would have still drove her a little crazy.
Yeah.
And then, if anything, you might have just got saved yourself.
True.
Right.
Plus, she wasn't, that whole healthy version she was doing wasn't necessarily true to herself either. So maybe that's.
Did you get her on LinkedIn though?
I know, because you were like, you were like, oh, well, I guess I'll talk to you later. Oh, call, text, Facebook, and LinkedIn.
She's like, get it. Yeah, that one also changed a bunch, but that was a funny one. Because I can totally imagine all the hipsters like, yeah, LinkedIn is cool because no one else uses it.
Right, like, let me look her up on LinkedIn. So I wonder if he actually does that later on. If you catch Xander on his computer on LinkedIn.
Yeah, right. I kind of hope I come back to and I don't know what's going to happen, but like it'd be fun to come back to
storyline.
To like haunt her a little bit because I'm clearly super into her and she's like it would really be inconvenient because of how that went down. That I'd come back at certain points.
I feel like there's so many characters that that guest star that come in and out that could definitely come back into the story. And you know what, Rachel, if you do write that, remember, Trene said it first here on AFTERBUZZ TV.
Right, yeah.
As I reiterate it right now.
Yes.
Credit y'all.
Right. I was like, come on, bring him back.
Yeah, co-written.
And she pushed him all the way out the door. And she was just feeling so, you can just tell she just regretted the whole thing.
Yeah.
You regretted, she was just looking so lost, like a little lost puppy. Right. And all of a sudden she's like, you don't have to hit me up on LinkedIn because she hears her door ring. She hears the door, and I thought it was Xander again, and it was surprisingly Greg. Oh my gosh!
So did you guys pass each other? I always wonder because it's never clear.
Yeah. So in the script, we're supposed to be leaving and going outside, and we literally pass each other in the walkway, and so that's super obvious. But that set is inside, so there is no outside the door, so that would have to be a completely different shoot location. So they're like, we'll just like, it'll be so close that people will see that. That's
so okay, I was right. So so
he did see it. That's what's up. Yeah, and he was just coming to check on her because she was like, oh, I'm sick, and he's trying to be a nice guy to come to like, hey, I'll like bring you soup or something. That's at least that's what I thought was the reason he was there.
But he was like, what's going on?
Right. He's like, you just left our date to go have sex with another guy.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna actually, curse her out, but he was just like, what's wrong with you? Like, talk to me. Like, I want to know. Like, he was just trying to get into her feelings, and that's when she was like, the whole settle for me that was just feeling too grown up and too adult, and I actually refer to my life to a butter commercial, and he's just like, what's going on with you?
He gets super like real with her. Yeah. She gets super real with him, but he's still such a nice guy, which makes me continue to say that he's still gonna like her and still gonna want to be with her even after Mr. Guacamole dipped into her. Pun intended.
Dipped into her. Got the little sample.
We'll see if there'll be some double dipping later on.
Might be. And so she's just feeling super bad, and she decides to redeem herself. She calls up Josh. She finds out Josh didn't get the job. He's at the radiology job.
She gets one of those weird notifications.
Notifications.
Yeah. I want that app. Or do I don't know. It's kind of a stalker app. Yeah.
Is this a real app?
I don't know.
I'm gonna look later on my notifications or my settings on Instagram and see if I can do that. Not that I'm gonna use it or anything like that, just for curiosity.
Yeah. Right, because if you want to know where somebody is at A, B, and C, this is the app. And she totally finds out that he's working as a radiologist now, and she's like, I gotta save my Joshy. I'm gonna give him that nickname, but I gotta save him. She calls him. She saves his life, and she's like, what? You didn't get the job? Yeah. And like a mommy dearest drags him down
oh my God.
To Aloha Tech.
Like a mommy taking her kid back to the principal because the principal was the wrong one. Like, what? Like,
yeah. And it was funny when she said, when he's like, the Harvard thing and then not in a good way. And she's like, what other way is there?
Yeah, what other way is there?
I know we find out that Josh went to Cal State Northridge.
Yo.
Which we are alums. I'm alum of Cal State Northridge, so I thought that was pretty cool. And she just goes into this whole speech about how Josh is this wonderful person and how much he loves Aloha Tech, and
Right.
she gets him the job.
Right. After the emotional breakdown that she had, that did not anyone notice that she was like
Crying
in
she
front
was
of the
saying sort of the same thing. It was like, if Josh loves you, then you're the luckiest store/person in the world.
It's like,
She's always talking about herself. It was like, oh.
it's
Oh
like,
my
when would
gosh.
Josh know when she's dropping these hints?
But again, they didn't tell him what happened. Like, it's never. Is it cleared up if she tells them that I'm the one who wrote the essay? Josh is actually the super chill guy.
I don't think it was ever clear. I don't think she ever said it. Like, I was the one who wrote it. I think it was just more of her like being the lawyer again and just trying to find a way to get him what he wanted, which she's just really good at, just like the way she did with Paula's son last week. That's kind of how it always ends, where she uses her ability for something great.
Yeah,
I mean?
it always ends up being a happy ending.
Right. But then Josh, like this is where it brings her back in again. You know what I mean? Because she gives all the compliments, then he's like, yeah, no, like you did great, blah blah. When she thinks like, oh my god, I just messed up in front of him.
You're right.
But he doesn't even see that.
He's so
He's super naive to everything.
Finally, she was being kind of honest, and he picked up on that because he's that kind of like chilled guy that picks up on the vibe more than anything else. So that was nice. That was a nice moment. I liked it.
Yeah. I mean, she was just like, "Oh, I have another way in."
Right.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how crazy did you think she was
remembered.
this episode?
In this episode?
Yes.
Oh. Well, I guess how far we're taking the 10, I don't know. But let's say a 7 maybe, or an 8, because just doing that random leaving your date for some guy and then doing that guy instead.
I'm gonna go with 8.5 because she tried the Tinder thing. It didn't work.
And
then this guy, and went all the way. Still feel remorse, but she just doesn't click. So not quite to the high 9, 10, but I would say 8. Let's do an 8.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a 9.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with a 9.
But she used 2 condoms. It's not that crazy.
Yeah, she was super protected, which I like about this show because it's promoting safe sex. So I like that as well.
And good image, by the way.
Right. So comfortable.
Yeah.
That's so not CW to be like, because all these people are sort of like, I mean, they're all pretty and stuff, and they're all like, they're not super unhealthy, but they're like, they're not that CW.
Right. But we talked about this. Once again, the diversity in casting. There were more Asian Americans.
I know.
This time. Aloha guy and then his dad. Shout out to that.
The hipster, like they're bringing all aspects.
All aspects. I love it.
Right.
And the episode ends off with her just finding out that she has a friend for the neighbor.
Yeah.
The neighbor ends up just ending the whole psychology class, and she leaves. She ends the project, and we just find out that now she's gonna have some friends by her side.
Right. She has like a team now, doesn't she?
Except
for Greg, though.
Except for Greg.
Yeah, she
but
lost Greg, but she gained 2 others, she thinks, maybe, yeah.
So we'll just have to find out, and that's a great time to go into predictions.
Yes. Predictions, y'all.
Okay.
Now, your AFTERBUZZ TV.
And the lights. We got the lights now.
Oh.
You like that? You like that?
Yeah, that's cool.
Did that freak you out a little bit?
So Thor, we're gonna start off with you first. What do you think is gonna happen?
Oh, in general, or like in some?
Just in general, yes.
Well, I think you're right. I think even though this is a nasty sort of break in the Greg Rebecca relationship, it's probably gonna end up twistedly making itself functioning again, or not functioning, but at least like they're still gonna have a thing going on. I still think she's still in the friend zone with Josh, even though it feels like she's kind of like doing well there. I think Xander's gonna come back and be a total nuisance.
Rachel.
Rachel. No, so I don't. But that's definitely a thing they can do. Like they have that tool now. To just throw some wrenches in there later on if they need to.
Be exciting.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
So I'm gonna go with my thing again and just say that this is not done between Greg and Rachel. And then I think she's infiltrating in Josh's heart just a little bit. He's gonna start noticing soon. And it's going to start, like, working out. So I think that's going to happen some more. I really want to bring Valencia back again to see her crazy self do something. And I have a feeling she's going to come back because they're just slowly bringing her character into the Instagram pictures or whatnot. And I think Heather is going to be Team Rebecca.
Right.
And she's going to help Bex out along with Paul. They're going to team up and they're going to make this Josh Chan thing happen.
And I think we're going to see some more characters. We noticed that she starts opening up saying she has a depressive disorder, or she has like
Anxiety.
she's going to have
Anxiety.
she's going to open up about anxiety, and I think Xander is going to come back. It's going to be
I support
crazy.
that theory. Yeah,
It's going to be really, really crazy. I definitely want to see that happening. And I cannot wait to hear what you guys have to say. So if you guys think about your predictions, leave them in our comments. And always be sure to look us up on AFTERBUZZTV.com. And we also have a podcast. You can check that out. YouTube.com/AFTERBUZZ TV. And where can we find you out on Twitter, Thor?
I am at Thor Knai everywhere. Instagram, Twitter. That's THORKNAI. So that's
Awesome.
That's everywhere.
Once again, guys, it's your boy Nino. You can catch me at Nino Llanera on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. Hit me up.
And you can catch me up on Twitter and Instagram at your girl Trene. We love you, and we can't wait to see you next week.
Bye, y'all.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for tuning in.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.